This year is over, and so is our growing season. We've been spending the past few weeks getting everything picked out of the late fall garden and getting it all canned or frozen and put up. We picked all of the green tomatoes before we got a hard freeze, and they've been ripening on the table. We were able to do 2 batches of meat chickens this year, so our freezers are nice and full, and that should last us until springtime. Something we did for the first time this year was we saved as many different kinds of seeds as we could. Our chickens are even still giving us plenty of eggs, even though for right now the days are so much shorter. One of the last things to come out of the garden at the end of the season are the greens and collards. Ours were doing really good until the chickens got in and decided to eat most of them, so I picked what was left, and since they are a traditional food to eat on New Year's Day, I figured I'd show you how we freeze them and how I cook them. I put the greens into a sink of cold water to rinse them off really well, and then I fold them in half to cut the stem off, and just cut them up into about 1-inch strips. You can cut them into bigger or smaller pieces, it really doesn't make a difference. Some people keep all the different kinds of greens separate, but I just mix them all together. It makes it quicker and easier. After the greens are cut, put them on an old towel to dry off. Mix them up and try to get off as much water as you can. Then put them on a baking sheet, but try not to crowd them too much. Then put them in the freezer for a couple hours or until they're good and frozen. After they're frozen, pack them into a Ziploc bag. You can push them down and get as many as you can into the bag. That way, when you're ready to cook them, you can just pull out however many you want to cook. So to cook the greens, I start off by chopping up about a half an onion and a couple slices of bacon. I cook that in the pan a little bit with some butter, and then I add the greens on top. Here I'm using some fresh, not yet frozen collard greens. Cook the greens on a medium heat for about 2 or 3 minutes while stirring until the greens start getting soft. Then you cover the greens with chicken broth, turn the heat down to low, cover your pan, and cook for about 10 or 15 minutes until the greens are soft. Thank y'all for watching. We hope everybody has a good new year. We thank the Lord for what He's done for us last year, and we can't wait to see what He does with us this year.